Hey guys, I want to talk to you about self-control and actually how to improve it. Because if you want to be successful in life, you need to be able to control yourself and your actions. But before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified when I release a new video. So self-control, if you don't know, is the ability to control behaviors in order to avoid temptation. You know, it's to resist gratification, like instant gratification. And you see, we get instant gratification all the time with stuff like social media. You know, that's why it's so popular. Whenever you get a like, whenever you get a comment, whenever you're just scrolling through the news feed, like you constantly get dopamine hits and instant gratification. You know, in the 1970s, they did a test with kids, and it was called the marshmallow test. You've probably heard it before. And if you haven't, what they did was they put a marshmallow in front of a kid, and then they said to that child that if you don't eat this for like 15 minutes or something, then you can have two. And then the adult walks out and leaves the kid alone with the marshmallow. And they do this to see if the kid could resist eating it. And what they found was that most kids could not actually resist eating the marshmallow. You know, they wanted that instant gratification. They didn't want to wait to be able to get, even though they would get more. You know, and it's the exact same with us adults. You would think as we grew up, we would learn and we would get smarter, but we don't. You know, especially with things like making money or trying to get fit or losing weight and that. Like, it's hard to make money. It's not hard to make money online, but it takes time before you actually see the results, you know. And the reason that most people fail at making money online is not because it is hard. It's because they just don't see the results. They don't get that instant gratification that we want. And once the motivation starts to die off and it starts to get hard, like, by that time the only thing that you're relying on is your self-control, because at the start you've got that like boost from the motivation, but that doesn't last forever. And it does start to get hard because it's literally just you in control and your self-control. And if you don't get any like gratification or rewards, you want to stop. You don't want to keep doing it. You know, so how can we improve our self-control so we don't always desire that instant gratification and that reward straight away? So we can rely on longer term rewards that are ultimately going to benefit us more. You know, one way I like to do is to avoid temptation altogether. It's always better to resist than enjoy. Like, whether it's eating, drinking, spending money, going on social media, like, it doesn't matter what it is, any undesirable behavior that you do. And a good way I like to avoid them is to do a healthy activity. So that might be something like going for a walk, maybe calling a friend, doing laundry, you know, anything to take your mind off it, take your mind off that action that you don't want to do. If it's something like your phone that you can't resist, and that's always calling for you, and whenever you hear like your phone go off, you want to answer it. If it's something like that, then I would recommend that you turn your phone off and you put it in another room. You don't leave it in front of you. Take it out of your sight, because out of sight means out of mind. You know, another good thing to do that I like to do is to plan ahead. So let's say that, for example, if you find yourself eating unhealthy snacks late in the afternoon, you know, you start to get hungry, you start eating a lot of unhealthy snacks, you can plan ahead and you can say, right, I'm going to eat a well-balanced lunch, plenty of fiber, plenty of protein, whole grains, stuff that's going to keep me going and keep me more full for longer. And that way you're in control. You know, if you plan ahead, you're always in control of what you're doing. You know, something else that I really like to do is I like to remind myself of the consequences. You know, I ask myself, what's going to happen if I stop doing this? If I stop doing whatever I'm doing, what's going to happen to me? And most of the time, the answer is probably nothing. Like, nothing's going to change. My life is going to stay the same way as it always has, or the same way as it is, you know. But that, for me anyway, that's literally the worst answer, that worst thing that can happen. Because the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing is because I want to change. I want to improve myself. I want to, I don't want to be living the life that I'm living, you know? I want to have a job that I enjoy. I want to be able to provide for myself and provide for the people around me. You know, I want to be healthier. I want to be fitter. I don't want to do what I'm doing now. That's why I'm changing. So I always say to myself, especially when I'm finding it hard, like, if I wasn't doing this, what would I be doing? And it's never anything that I want to hear, you know? It's always the stuff that I'm trying to avoid. That's a really good question to ask yourself, and to keep reminding yourself as well. You see, self-control is a very important skill to have, and it is actually a skill, so you can get better at it. If you're not very good at self-control at the moment, you can get better, because it is a skill. It's a skill that we have to learn, you know. But you have to keep doing it, and you have to not give up. But I can guarantee you that if you consistently work at your self-control and you do not give up no matter what, you will be successful. That's it for today, guys. I'll see you in the next video.